Windsor Castle dazzled like a film set on the 14th of June, 2025, but what unfolded inside felt more like a startup pitch night than a royal reception. Chandeliers blazed, cameras prowled, and a monarch fresh from chemotherapy suddenly found himself explaining the joys of sensible footwear. Block heels are a mercy for tired feet at our age. King Charles III laughed to designer Lisa Kay after she revealed that Queen Camilla swears by Kay's pumps. The quip ricocheted across social media within minutes, clocking more engagement than the palace's last coronation update and proving that relatability is gold in the attention economy. The shoe moment set the tempo for a gathering honoring the 2025 King's Award for Enterprise, the United Kingdom's highest commercial accolade. Nicknamed the Business Oscars with a crest, the award began under Queen Elizabeth II in 1965 and routinely flings open export doors that even veteran lobbyists struggle to crack. Government data now shows that winners, on average, double their international revenue inside 12 months. Little wonder 200 founders, engineers and philanthropists felt their hands tremble as they waited in St. George's Hall, business cards slick with nervous sweat. A monarch in motion. Most guests expected Charles to appear briefly, if at all, because chemotherapy schedules are unforgiving. Instead, he strode in on the dot, jacket perfectly tailored but cheeks noticeably pale, and embarked on a handshake marathon that stretched past the 90-minute mark. Twice a private secretary hovered with a whispered reminder of the doctor's orders, twice the king pivoted back into conversation. People who risk everything for Britain deserve more than a wave from a balcony, he told a Midlands robotics engineer while declining a chair. For the entrepreneurs present, that single sentence proved as energizing as any venture capital term sheet. The royal A-team steps up. Charles was flanked by senior Windsors determined to project stability during a year of palace health headlines. Princess Anne, steel-spined and surgically punctual, had already chalked up 3 engagements before lunch. Duchess Sophie, champion of eye health and gender justice campaigns, matched her stride for stride. Though both women lead separate portfolios, joint appearances remain rare enough to send royal watchers scrambling for camera angles. Their united front delivered an unmistakable message: if the monarchy is a relay, Anne and Sophie are the runners taking the baton while the Prince and Princess of Wales focus on recovery. Not to be overlooked, Prince Edward quietly introduced a plastics-to-aviation startup to the ASEAN trade envoy, while Prince Richard, Duke of Gloucester, perhaps the least publicized workhorse in the family, spent 15 unfilmed minutes guiding a team of architects through the UN accreditation maze for earthquake-proof schools in East Africa. One CEO later whispered, "Here's the Swiss Army knife of soft power. Under the radar, over the top useful." 6 deals born under medieval rafters. Cornish Sea Algae Labs left Windsor with a draft £18 million US Navy research grant after Charles name-checked their biofilters in his toast. Teesside Plastics to Panels secured interest from Indonesia's sovereign wealth fund, brokered by one quiet nod from Prince Edward. Glasgow Sign Language AI earned a 4-trust NHS trial when Duchess Sophie pressed the health secretary on the spot. Bristol Hydrogen Scooters reported calls from Saudi transport officials before dessert was served. London Quantum Crypto Group caught the King's ear on post-quantum encryption. Palace legal advisors offered pro bono guidance. Norfolk Modular Housing Collective clinched a Gulf state pilot for flood-resilient homes after Princess and insisted the CEO meet a visiting infrastructure minister. Those encounters, replayed later in WhatsApp groups and board meetings, illustrated why the Windsor boost is now a line item in many UK business plans. A Department for Business study comparing a dozen recent winners found median order book value up 86% within a year, while staff retention rates jumped 17 points, numbers most accelerators can only envy. Social media's favorite reel. Royal correspondent Rebecca English captured the night's warmest exchange, Duchess Sophie high-fiving 19-year-old coder Aisha Rahman, whose app turns spoken English into animated British Sign Language avatars. English's 21-second Instagram reel reached 3 million views in 4 hours, outperforming Clarence House's official post 6-1. Her caption, "Dragons on the ceiling, future in trainers," distilled the evening's paradox, a 1,000-year-old castle cheering on teenagers with open-source dreams. The health subplot. Behind the shimmer lay a quieter drama, Charles' own resilience. Courtiers confirmed that his 3rd chemo cycle began less than 48 hours before the reception. Doctors advised halving public appearances. Palace insiders say he has increased them by 8%. Visible commitment matters right now, whispered one aide, hinting at concerns about Commonwealth skepticism during the monarch's treatment. By staying on his feet for more than 100 minutes and cracking jokes about high heels, Charles signaled that Britain's first family intends to model durability, not fragility. Why the monarchy bets on enterprise. The Treasury faces an £11 billion productivity gap. Small and medium-sized tech firms, the exact profile of most King's Award winners, form the chief hope of closing it. Downing Street is already weaving Windsor case studies into white papers on export-led growth. Insiders talk of a green core network, a copper-lined consortium of past awardees specializing in circular economy tech, with Princess and tipped to chair the inaugural Glasgow summit. There's even chatter about a palace-backed venture fund, though officials laugh that suggestion off, meaning it may only be half a decade away. Humanizing moments matter. Critics often dismiss off-script comments as PR risks, but the block-heel banter delivered measurable dividends. Over 55 male viewers applauded the King's humorous humility, fashion bloggers praised his shoe literacy, and disability advocates highlighted the accessibility theme. In a year when royal news has leaned heavily on medical bulletins, a burst of relatable humor turned out to be the most viral medicine. Glimpses beyond the headlines. A footman confided that the King lingered in the trophy room after guests departed, running his hand over each crystal award and asking how often they need polishing. Castle Catering switched its dessert menu to an algae-based ice cream in honor of one recipient. Palace chefs now field calls from Michelin test kitchens. The Queen's private office requested a final sample of Lisa Kay's latest block-heel before Camilla heads to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Expect a quiet style moment to launch a loud sales spike. What's coming next? Commonwealth Green Tech Roadshow led by Anne and Sophie, live-streamed vertically for TikTok. A Charles-penned quarterly essay on innovation, essentially a monarch's Substack. Senior aides insist the idea is under serious discussion. Potential state banquet showcase featuring ingredients from award-winning sustainable farms, turning the royal menu into a soft power billboard. Call to action. If you crave well-sourced royal intel that goes beyond gossip, tap subscribe and ring the bell so the algorithm keeps the next scoop on your screen. Upcoming episodes include a behind-the-scenes audio diary from Windsor and an exclusive with the startup that converts festival tents into emergency housing. Until then, spare a thought for the award recipients hustling back to factory floors and coding sprints. They arrived at Windsor as innovators, they left as ambassadors with a crest powerful enough to open boardroom doors from Berlin to Brisbane. Somewhere in Buckingham Palace, Queen Camilla may already be road testing the latest block-heel prototype, preparing to stand that little bit longer beside a husband who refuses to sit down. Thank you for watching and for supporting the stories of people who turn ideas into impact. We'll see you in the next video.